Just getting on the score sheet, I mean, even after your first one, you looked pretty happy, but how ecstatic were you for the hat trick first time in 11 years?
Yeah, 11 years, yeah. It's been a long time. And, you don't come into games expecting to score hat tricks, but I've been working pretty hard. I've been, pretty happy with how I've been playing and my effort, and being put on that line, I wanted to play well and show well, obviously. And we needed to win. We needed to win on home ice. Just as a group, I think a lot of guys, got on the board. Connor, myself, and you need that. As a hockey player, as an offensive guy, sometimes it's not enough to just play well. You need to see some results from it. And hopefully this can kind of springboard our whole offensive game as a team.
It looked like Bedard especially. It looked like somebody dropped 1,000-pound weight off his shoulders when he scored at him.
I know the feeling. I mean, I felt the same, honestly. I didn't maybe show it as much as he did, but you want to score. And at the end of the day, like you go home after games and you're like, I'm right there, but you haven't scored in a while. It's tough to keep telling yourself that. So for him, I was really happy to see him score and on a shot that he beat the goalie, and it was a goal that's going to go in on a lot of goaltenders around the league. So hopefully he can start feeling a bit less pressure to produce, and he can just kind of keep rounding out his whole game.
During that theme, after your hat trick with the hats coming down and everything, what was going through your mind? What were you feeling?
It just had been a long time, and I was at 2 goals, and I'm like, man, this would be awesome to score on home ice. I wish I had my family here. I had no one here tonight, but. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, I've scored a hat trick against the Hawks, and now I've scored one for them. So not a lot of guys in the league can say that. So I'm pretty happy about it. And obviously more than anything, a big win for our team, and a lot of guys seeing their name on the score sheet. Peter getting a win, he deserves that, and hopefully we can keep rolling.
Did you have a good feeling coming in? Did you think that maybe tonight would be the night you broke through?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes you have good feelings coming into the game, and instead of scoring on the first shift, you're -1, and it's like, holy. But it was a good week of practice. I think the early part of the season, our schedule was insane, like 2 10-plus day road trips. And for me to kind of come back after an injury, I think I've digested the whole early part of the year, and I'm really starting to feel like I have some pop and some speed, and my mind is a bit more fresh than it was. So that's a good feeling, and kind of showed tonight.
2 wins and 3 and a point in the middle game. What's the commonality here in these 3 games?
I just think that obviously we got on the score sheet a lot tonight, but we're playing hard. I mean, it's not a perfect game, and we're not going to be. I don't think we're going to be a team that plays like hard, physical, perfect game for 60 minutes every night. We have some kinks to our game, and we have some learning to do, but I think the effort's been there, and you're seeing that in the scores.
Luke obviously challenged you a few weeks ago. And is this at all any more gratifying just to know the way you put that to use the last few weeks and motivated you?
Yeah, no, we had some good chats, and maybe that was what I needed. Sometimes it's nice to kind of feel like what rock bottom is, or not rock bottom, but just like, all right, like that's the worst I'm going to play, or that's the worst I'm going to feel. So let's figure some stuff out. Let's change a few things in my preparation and my habits, and let's see if I can not dwell on it, but take some constructive criticism, look myself in the mirror, and try and play better. So that's what I've done.
What did you see on that first goal?
What I see?
Yeah,
I just ripped it. I mean, I'm trying to just play the game without as much thinking and thought. So, I had the puck going a lot, with some pretty good speed through the neutral zone, and was able to get the puck out wide in a spot where it was in a nice spot on my blade, and I just figured I'd shoot it. It's, the first shift of the game. Let's get a shot. Let's try and, see how the goalie's feeling, and it went in. It was a hard shot. He'd probably want to have that back, but I got a lot on it.
You mentioned Peter. It wasn't like Dallas didn't have chances tonight. How good was he when the offense was rolling?
Yeah, he's such a good goalie at reading the play and knowing like a guy's looking right at him, but he's probably going to pass to the backside, and he reads that very well. I think he's one of the best goalies at the league in reading plays and seeing like this guy's more of a passer than a shooter. I think he's going to move it. And there were times tonight where we played loose, and that can kind of happen when a game is 4-1, 5-1. But he's such a good goalie. When I'm really seeing it now that he's healthy for a couple of years in a row. He's outstanding.
What do you think? Did you guys kind of have a discussion before this game? Because it seemed like everyone was jumping in this game. What do you attribute that to?
I don't know. I think, like I said, the schedule early on this year was really hard. We've had 2-3 day breaks in between games at home in the last couple of weeks, and I think we're starting to feel rested and guys are feeling a bit better. In saying that, the practices that we had the last couple of days, there was a lot more battles, there was a lot more games and kind of competitive stuff going on, and maybe that's the spark that we needed.
We all silly like the mayor.